In a quaint village nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived an old man named Elias. He was known as the oldest and perhaps the poorest man in the village. His small, run-down cottage stood at the edge of the village, a testament to the passage of time. The walls were weathered, the roof sagged, and the paint had long faded. Yet, despite its humble appearance, Elias's cottage held a certain charm.
I've lived in this village my entire life. I've seen seasons change, children grow old, and the village itself transform over the years. I've known both joy and sorrow, love and loss. Through it all, I have learned the true meaning of life. My heart is filled with contentment.
Every morning, Elias would wake up before the sun peeked over the horizon. He would brew himself a cup of herbal tea and step out into his garden. The air would be fresh and crisp, filled with the scent of dew-kissed leaves. Elias would take a deep breath and feel a sense of peace wash over him.
Just as a kind word can brighten someone's day, a gentle touch can make a flower bloom brighter.
Elias believed that plants, like people, thrived on care and attention. He would spend hours tending to his plants, watering them, weeding the soil, and whispering words of encouragement. The villagers would often see Elias working in his garden and stop by to chat. They enjoyed his company and the stories he would share.
Elias, tell us more about your childhood and the village in its younger days. We love your stories.
Elias was a man of few possessions, but he was rich in wisdom. He had learned from his own experiences and from the stories passed down through generations. He believed that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the richness of one's heart and the strength of one's relationships.
We come into this world with nothing, and we leave with nothing. It is the love we give and receive, the kindness we share, and the connections we make that truly matter.
The villagers respected Elias for his wisdom. They would often seek his advice on matters big and small. Elias would listen patiently, offering words of guidance and encouragement. One day, a stranger arrived in the village. His name was Amir, and he was a traveler from a distant land. Amir had heard tales of Elias's wisdom and had journeyed for many miles to meet him. Amir was a young man, full of ambition and a thirst for knowledge. He had spent years traveling the world, seeking fame, fortune, and the meaning of life. Yet, despite all his travels and experiences, he felt empty inside.
When I arrived at Elias's cottage, I was struck by its simplicity. The cottage was small and humble, yet it exuded a sense of peace and tranquility.
Amir knocked on the door, his heart filled with a mix of hope and uncertainty. Elias welcomed Amir into his humble abode with open arms. He offered him a cup of tea and listened patiently as Amir shared his story.
I have seen much of the world, acquired riches beyond my wildest dreams, yet I feel so empty inside. I had hoped to find wisdom in my travels, but I fear I have been searching in the wrong places.
You have journeyed far, young man, but it seems your travels have not yet brought you the peace you seek.
Amir sighed, a sense of weariness washing over him. Elias smiled gently and placed a reassuring hand on Amir's arm.
True wealth is not measured in gold or possessions. It is found in the connections we make, the love we share, and the difference we make in the world.
Amir spent the next few days in the company of Elias. He helped him tend to his garden, listened to his stories, and learned about the simple yet profound truths that Elias had discovered over his long life.
Happiness is not a destination, but a journey. It's about appreciating the little things and finding contentment in the present moment.
Amir had never thought of it that way before. He had always been so focused on achieving his goals that he had forgotten to enjoy the journey. Elias also taught Amir about the power of gratitude.
Focus on the good in your life, no matter how small, and express your appreciation for the people and things that bring you joy. Gratitude is the key to unlocking true happiness.
Elias believed that gratitude was the key to unlocking true happiness. As the days turned into weeks, Amir found himself drawn to the simplicity of life in the village. He had never felt so much peace before. He enjoyed waking up early, working in the garden with Elias, and spending time with the villagers.
I have learned their names, listened to their stories, and discovered that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of human connection.
Amir found himself spending more and more time in the village. He helped the villagers with their chores, shared his stories from his travels, and learned about their customs and traditions. He discovered a sense of community that he had never experienced before.
For the first time in my life, I feel like I belong. I am no longer a stranger passing through, but a part of something bigger than myself. True happiness comes not from chasing after material wealth, but from connecting with others and making a difference in the world.
One day, as Amir was helping Elias repair the roof of his cottage, he had an idea. He realized that he could use his wealth to help improve the lives of the villagers. The village was a humble one, and many of the villagers struggled to make ends meet.
I've decided to use my wealth to make a difference. I will fund the construction of a new well, a schoolhouse, and a community center.
The villagers were overjoyed. They had always been a resourceful people, but they had never had the means to make such significant improvements to their village. With Amir's help, the villagers set about building the new structures. They worked tirelessly, their hearts filled with hope and gratitude. Amir worked alongside them, his hands calloused but his spirit soaring. He had finally found a way to use his wealth to make a real difference in the world.
Thank you, Amir. Your generosity is changing our lives.
Amir, covered in sweat, smiles as he carries a large log with another villager. Under Amir's guidance and with the villagers' hard work, the village began to transform. The new well provided clean and easily accessible water, improving the health and well-being of the villagers. The schoolhouse offered the village children a proper place to learn and grow, securing a brighter future for generations to come. The community centre became a hub of activity, a place where villagers could gather for social events, celebrations and meetings.
It's incredible to see how much we can achieve when we work together.
The village, once a humble and overlooked place, began to thrive. The villagers took pride in their newly built structures and the spirit of progress that filled the air. The village became a beacon of hope, a testament to what could be achieved when people worked together for a common good. Amir found immense satisfaction in witnessing the positive impact he had made. As Amir continued to live in the village, he discovered that the more he gave, the richer he felt. He learned that true happiness came not from material possessions, but from making a difference in the lives of others. He had arrived in the village seeking wisdom, but he found something far greater.
I've learned that giving is the greatest gift of all.
Amir's transformation inspired others. The villagers, witnessing his selflessness and generosity, were moved to embrace the spirit of giving. They began to look out for one another, share what they had, and work together to create a more harmonious and prosperous community. The village became a shining example of how a community united by compassion and generosity could overcome adversity and create a brighter future. Years later, long after Elias had passed away peacefully in his sleep, the village continued to thrive. The lessons he had imparted, the values he had lived by, and the love he had shared continued to inspire generations. Elias's legacy lived on in the hearts of the villagers and in the spirit of kindness and generosity that permeated their lives.
Elias's wisdom and kindness will never be forgotten. We must continue his legacy.
Amir, now an older man himself, remained in the village, carrying forward Elias's legacy. He continued to share Elias's stories and teachings, ensuring that the wisdom of the oldest poor man would never be forgotten. The village had become a testament to the enduring power of love, kindness, and the interconnectedness of humanity. It stood as a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the depths of the human spirit and the strength of community.
Elias's spirit lives on in all of us, guiding us to be better, kinder people.
And so the village thrived, a legacy of love that would endure for generations to come.